Hola, muy buenos dias. Good morning, continuous liners. Hi, it's Meagan. How are y'all doing? I think it's Monday morning, isn't it? I'm here in the beautiful streets of Condesa in La Ciudad de Mexico. The parque is right there, so you're going to see a big stream of dogs going by here. It's kind of one of the best perks about living in Mexico City, but especially right on the park, because this is high traffic dog action. That's what I do now. I stare at dogs. No, I don't. But I do like to see dogs, right? I don't have any dogs anymore. And so I used to come here every single morning. I would come to the dog park. And there's lots of babies, too. Yeah, those things. But yeah, here comes some dogs. Look at that. The sunlight is coming in. I kind of like that. Isn't that beautiful? Good Monday morning to you. Muy buenos dias, continuous liners. I'm here in Tout Chocolat, aquí en la Parque in Condesa. I'm back from Guanajuato. I'm back in Mexico City. I'm writing agendas. That's what I do. I write agenda. I draw and I write agendas, right? I'm going to be launching some new workshops, and I'm also going to be rolling out an interview or introducing or announcing. There's the word I'm looking for, an interview. If you've ever had any desire, if you've ever if you're curious about self-publishing, we're going to be speaking to Liz Scota, who spends a good deal of her life in Paris. She lives in San Francisco, but she goes to Paris. She's a Francophile. Is that what they call them? Those people who are just crazy about France? Francophile? So she has self-published her books, her illustrations, right, to tell her story. And so we're going to chat with her about that process, right? In my mind, it's like this big, hairy, complicated thing. But I know more and more people, not just artists, more and more people are self-publishing, right? They're going that route of doing it themselves. I feel like this is an era. I don't feel like. Have been shown, and it has been proven, that this is an era of that you want something done, do it yourself, right? Don't wait for someone else to show you how. Don't wait for someone to do it for you, right? If you want something done, you got to do it yourself. So we're going to be talking to Liz about how she self-publishes her illustration books, right? Look at this. I got the sun coming right in on me. I don't think there's anything I can do about it because I'm not about to move this umbrella, which is super heavy. But it kind of gives me a nice warm glow. Look at that. My goodness. Here's my delicious latte. Good Monday morning to you. All right. If you're there with me, then you got a ballpoint pen. I really don't want to move my coffee away. It's so pretty, isn't it? It's always importante to have a pretty coffee, and I highly recommend the mug, right? When you can, drink from a beautiful, beautiful taza, right? It just is so much more, what's that word I'm looking for? Civilized. It's just so civilized, isn't it? And you don't have to feel bad about adding to the environmental waste of more paper cups, right? I mean, I know there's like combustible, what is the word? The sustainable cups, right? But still, when you can do this, or make coffee at home, right? I do. When I'm not doing this, I have coffee at home. And of course, always having it in a proper cup, right? I'm spending all my time talking about cups and Liz Scota, but those are worthy topics for sure. Indeed. So I'm going to do, we got the fundamentals class later on this morning. And so part of that is that we always do the line warm-ups, right? Line warm-ups are like, they're a basic, super elementary, so simple. People say to me, they're so simple. They're so simple I forget them, right? And believe me, I get that. I went for years, well, not years, I went for months forgetting to do these because they're just kind of, oftentimes when we go out drawing or we're just ready to draw, we just start drawing, right? And so it took me a long time to get in the habit, like, slow it down. Well, I mean, obviously the COVID pandemic had a lot to do with that because I had a lot more time on my hands, as many of you did as well, right? And so the pandemic era, which we're still in, has proven to me that line warm-ups are good. Taking time to do the warm-ups make a difference, right? They absolutely have made a difference in the quality of my line and the quality of my drawings and my level of skill, right? I've seen it by the more I practice my line warm-ups. I have the coffee hiccups. The more I do my line warm-ups, the more I see the benefit in my drawings, right? I'm just going to knock this down just a little bit. You know, it's not about seeing what I'm doing, but it's more like just to get the gist of it. But first I'm going to have a sip of this beautiful latte. Isn't that gorgeous? I don't even want to set it down. It's so good. First sip of coffee, right? Best. Is that not the highlight of the day? All right. I'm going to go this way. Oh, I already can see I forgot to put my binder clip down. So, the thing I have been encouraging all who care to listen to me, and you may be one of those people who listen to me, and for that I thank you. I'm encouraging getting the wrist more involved, right? It's going to be uglier. I mean, in the sense that your lines aren't going to be as tidy, but who cares, right? This is just a line warm-up, right? So in the line warm-up practice, I'm trying to just really, well, first of all, what I want to do is just get my wrist open a little bit, right? I had a revelation at some point last week. I mean, I've had this thought before, but it occurred to me. I saw my hands in a video, and I said, my God, my hands have turned into my mother's. And, you know, that's not a bad thing. I'm not saying that negatively, but my mother had very hardworking hands, and she wasn't kind to her hands, right? I mean, she used her hands like we all do. You know, she had very weathered hands at the end of her deal. And I suppose we all will, but I just saw a glimpse. I always thought of my hands as kind of like, you know, they used to be kind of elegant. Well, they're not so much anymore. My hands are getting old, as is the rest of my body. And so I just was thinking about the mobility of our hands, right? Like the mobility. Like how can you move? Like how can you move your hands? You know, as we get older, you hear a lot about, keep walking, keep doing yoga, keep riding your bike, whatever it is you do. But has anyone ever talked about, keep your hands agile, right? Keep your hands mobile, keep them open, do what you need to do, right? So part of that, I mean, we use our hands for drawing, duh. And so, what I'm encouraging all to do is to get your wrist involved in the game. Get your wrist, and just hearing some comments from folks that are doing this, ow, it kind of hurts. It kind of hurts, right? Look at this. The sun is completely taking over my whole deal. I always set myself up so I'm not in the sun, and boom, look at this. I'm in the sun. And there's nothing I can do about it right now because I'm doing my line warm-ups and I'm getting my wrist involved in it. And, you know, I'd say my lines are still pretty good. I like my lines, right? I practice them a lot. And even by spinning around on the ice, that's what I'm doing. I'm spinning around on the ice. I'm getting a nice texture. Well, hello, good morning. There go the boys. The boys all just went trotting by, and they said good morning to me, so I appreciate that. Here, I want you to see dogs as they're trotting by. I don't know what this sun deal is going to do, but anyways, so, you know, if you get bored of watching me draw, which I'm sure no one is getting bored of watching me draw, right? At least you can watch dogs trotting by, because honestly, who doesn't love watching dogs trotting by? I don't see any in the immediate area. Oh, I see one coming this way. It's the little things, right? Like I'm this little weirdo sitting in the city getting my thrills like when a dog comes by. Is this who I am now? Yeah, I'm sorry, this is who I am now. Hey, no apologies, right? I can't have a dog right now. I'm getting ready to go do some traveling, so this is not the right time to get a dog. I am preparing for my trip to Ireland. I actually started packing. I started packing just to do like a trial run. Like, are my things going to fit? Because I had to get some waterproof hiking boots. And it's kind of cold there, right? It's cold and wet. And so I have to get some gear. Plus I have to water, I want to bring all my sketch stuff. And I want to make sure that stays safe. I'm totally on the fence about whether or not I should. Oh my God. Beautiful man just went running by, shirtless. It was like Fabio. What was I saying? Oh yeah, I was talking about packing. And then I got distracted by a jogger. My God. Well, he was kind of interesting. He was just little shorties and nothing else, and his hair was real long. Honestly, he was like a Aztec god that just came running by. I wish I could have seen it. It was beautiful. Anywho, so yeah, I'm on the fence about whether or not to bring my laptop to Ireland. I'm going to be there like over 2 weeks, and I fear if I don't bring it, I'm going to regret it, because there's going to be moments where I'm going to have to want to do some work. I'm bringing my laptop. It's settled. So I have to just make sure everything is waterproof, locked down, safe, transportable, right? I want to be super tidy. Even just going to San Miguel and Guanajuato last week, I overpacked a little bit. I find that I just wear the same things all the time, so why bring 5 outfits if I'm just going to wear the same thing? I'm going to think that way about Ireland, too. I'm going to wear the same thing. Well, layers. It's all about layers, right? So I'm just going to wear the same thing over there. I got a waterproof jacket with a good hood. And I feel like there was something else importante. Oh, a new backpack, right? A waterproof backpack. Yeah. So I'm doing trial runs of packing to make sure, because you got to do a lot of walking with your own stuff, right? So I want to make sure I can walk and not topple over and keep myself safe from not safe, but dry from the rain. Yeah, safe from the rain, right? So anyways, I'm packing for my Ireland trip. I got there's a great sweater guy here in Mexico City. It's so awesome. He's there on the weekends at this plaza, just a few blocks in Roma Norte, and all he does is sell sweaters. I mean, used sweaters. What is there better? Secondhand sweaters, right? And they're beautiful sweaters, right? So I've gotten some beautiful wool sweaters for him for like $15, right? I don't really need them. I mean, they say you need them here in Mexico City, but I find that it doesn't get as chilly here as it once did, right? Remember the days when things got chilly? Remember the days when places actually kind of followed weather patterns? That seems to be off the table these days. But anyways, yeah, so I got some beautiful sweaters that I'm basically sweater. I have 2, but I think I'm just going to bring 1. Again, I'm just trying to be smart. Who cares if I wear the same sweater the whole time I'm there? Nobody cares, right? Nobody cares. Nobody cares. Actually, I found a really good blog posting from a woman who was like, how to look smart in your photos when you're in Ireland. And I really appreciate it, because she's like, you got to be practical. You can wear the same thing, but just mix it up with a different scarf or a different hat or something like that, right? And I was like, I like that, right? Because I like to keep it fresh, even though I don't even know what I look like right now. Anyways. The unraveling that happens when I do my continuous line. The unraveling of my thoughts. It's a beautiful thing. It is my morning pages, right? It's where I center myself. It's where I sort of get grounded, right? I woke up this morning, and in my dream, I think I told myself that I was super fat, and so I was feeling all like, woe was me, I'm super fat, right? I mean, I think we've all been there, right? And so here I am doing my lines, and I'm like, I don't care if I'm fat. I'm really not fat. But so what if I am? It doesn't behoove me to tell myself that, or to even waste my time on that. And so I don't care if I'm fat, because you know what? Nobody cares. Honestly, nobody cares. I mean, I think people would care if I were obese, right, waddling down the street, but I'm not. I'm just having a few weight issues, but that's okay. That's okay. That's what happens when we get older, right? And so I'm not going to waste my time telling myself that, because I don't have time for that, and it only makes me feel bad. So I'm going to focus on drawing and being positive about what I got going on in life, right? I have a awesome drawing community. and people who show up to draw with me 3 times a week. I love that. People who are sharing their drawings in our community group. I love that, right? I love seeing people from all over the place sharing their drawings and telling their stories through continuous line. And oftentimes when people start, they're like, I can't really do this. And I see the comments of like, it's not very good, or it wasn't all continuous line, whatever. There's oftentimes when starting out with anything, people sort of feel like they have to like explain their shortcomings. And what I've witnessed over time is that those comments start to become lesser. You don't hear so much of the, I'm going to say it. Oftentimes women feel like they have to like explain themselves or defend themselves or apologize for their work. And that's one of the things that I ask people not to do. Don't apologize for your work, because we're all just trying to get through our own stuff, right? And learning how to draw and sharing your drawings can be a little intimidating if you're just starting, right? Especially women who've like probably ran businesses, raised families, run households and everything like that. Not that men haven't, but most of the people in my group are women, right? And so like to start a new hobby, a new practice that maybe you don't feel like you can do, like you're not doing it 100%, it doesn't matter, right? Like it's, first of all, bravo for trying new things. And in my group, I feel like I really want to send the message of like, it's okay. The most important thing is to start, and continuous line will help you push through your fears, because you just go, I don't care that I don't know how to draw this cup. I'm just going to keep going. I'm going to draw that guy sitting right there, which will lead me into that dog, which will lead me into that tree. And I'm just going to tell the whole story through my line, right? And over time and with practice, it gets easier, just like with anything, right? With practice, all things are possible, right? There's a lot of drawing groups out there. There's a lot of art groups out there. There's a lot of videos that you can purchase. There's a lot of workshops you can take. There's, the world, especially in the pandemic years, the whole like online art classes just absolutely exploded. A lot of other things did too, like waistlines. There's a lot more online learning became available, and it could be, obviously there's some great classes. I have a slew of classes that I haven't watched yet. I purchased, and that's the thing about the recorded videos. They're super cool, and they're great prices and everything like that. And I've heard from others, myself included, I'll purchase them and go, oh yeah, I'm going to watch this next week. Well, there's no reason to show up to it, and so sometimes it's hard to show up to it, right? Because it's not like a classroom is waiting for me. No one's waiting for me because no one cares. Got a little tickle in my throat here. Yeah, so what am I saying? I'm like going off on recorded classes and art classes. Oh, I'm saying when the chops that it takes to show up and start a drawing practice and maintain it and keep up with your practice and share your work, right, with the community. I sometimes forget because it's been so long, but it can be, I know for people just starting out, it can be very scary to share your work, right? Like, oh, they're going to hate me, they're going to see I can't draw. Not hate me, but they're going to see I'm a fraud and whatever, all those like silly messages we tell ourselves, right? But in my group, I do encourage participation at all levels, and the most important thing is to just start, right? Start telling your stories. Start drawing your stories. Start drawing. And I'm completely blinded by the sun. I set up this whole table in the shade, and with moments I'm totally in the sunlight. Can't see a dang thing, except I can see my lines, my practice here, my warm-up. That's what I'm trying to say. Alrighty. So this week I'm going to be launching some new programs as I am prepared to depart for Ireland, where I will not be teaching for the month of September because I'm in Ireland. I'm doing a workshop while I'm there. I am doing a workshop really to kind of learn about and discover old ways of healing, right? Like it's all about, I'm going to be meeting plant healers and storytellers and archaeologist and going on walks and going to classes and going. It's a fascinating workshop, which I purchased for myself. Like it feels like 2 years ago, but maybe it was just a year ago. I did it a while ago. I was like, this is like the bucket list, right? Like this is something I've been wanting to do my whole life. Do it now. Why you can't? Having COVID and getting really sick from it, it was a bit of a wake up call. I think there's been a lot of wake up calls, right? So I'm like, I can't delay. I don't know if I financially can afford it, but I'm going to work my tail feathers off so I can, right? I can do it and keep moving forward with what I want to be doing, right? So, so I'm announcing some winter workshops. I've been working on the agendas for that, and hope that that I continue to nurture and grow the drawing group online here, but also hope to have. There's nothing like an in-person workshop. Nothing like an in-person workshop, right? And so, stay tuned. I am announcing workshops later this week. What am I doing here? All right, finish big with a heart. Finish big with a heart. Go easy on myself, go easy on others. Go easy on myself, go easy on others. We're all fighting a battle. We're all trying to figure something out. We're all trying to get through. We're all trying to make our way, right? The world is very different than it was 5 years ago, right? We've all had to adapt to new things, new technology, new ways of being in the world, new ways of traveling, new ways of working. My God, new ways of working, right? We've all had to adapt to a whole new way of being in this world, right? No matter who or what you are. And there's been a lot of chaos that has come with that, right? It's been stressful, right? You peek at the news and it's like, my God. I mean, my God, is the United States really going to have a guy be president again who tried to overthrow the government? Come on. That's like big news when you think about it, right? And, what did I see this morning? Zuck and what's his name, that moron from Twitter, are going to do a cage fight? I mean, come on. A death match or something like that? I mean, these are like grown businessmen who are challenging each other to a duel. And so this is where we're at, right? The social media thing, my God, that's a career in and of itself, to try to like be someone on social media and have people see your work and people buy your art and blah, 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 blah. Anywho, don't get me started. Oh, I got myself started. So have a great day, everyone. Finish big with a heart. Go easy on yourself, go easy on others, and hope to see you in the fundamentals. And stay tuned for workshop announcements later today. Oh, I can barely see anything here, but have a great day, everyone. See you on Zoom. Okay, bye.